Hello friends, hello fans and loyal audience. So this is video number 7 of the Matrix Dissected and Unloaded, the next level. So this is series number 2, video number 7, April 6, 24 at 5:57 p.m. So continuing, here I may repeat myself on some of the scenes or pictures, but only because I have a different idea or additional information to provide. I am seeing Chinese here plus numbers, Chinese plus numbers. So the battle of the Matrix has begun in the east, such as Mongolia, China, or something of the sort, and then it began to make its way through, such as Mongols and Tatars and so on. Now things convert or change, morph into numbers from Chinese characters plus some numbers, presence of some numbers in the Chinese character set down the screen, falling down the screen, or scrolling down the screen.
Yeah. Is everything in place? You weren't supposed to leave me. I know, but I felt like taking a shit.
Now we're talking all numbers. This is no longer Chinese character set, kanji or whatnot, right? And it's all numbers now. All numbers. So some conversion has happened in the east by the territory or area of modern day China, Mongolia, and so on, right? And then they were gradually converted into numbers. Numbers means you're part of the matrix, meaningly, such as in any programming languages, in a strict programming languages or strict typesetting, they're all the same. They have to be all the same in the matrix, right? So they're all numbers, right? Now this means they have been converted, they have been recruited, they have been inducted, they have been so and so, right? And they've been sorted out and isolated. And I said this before. Alright, here's a funny part. If you ever have a white rabbit across the hall from you, don't ever follow it. Where are you going? It's like you will become a zombie or something of the sort. Alright, so
yeah. Sure. I'll go.
okay, these are, this is a grotto, which is an underground type cemetery or club or something of the sort. This is a cave, right? Underground. Does that remind you of something that Tank said that the only city, human city left, and then where is it? It's underground, deep underground. I believe that when Tank said something like this, he was talking about things like this, underground. And if I recall correctly, in the next release of the Matrix, they show you underground edifices and so on. But at the same time, they show you that they are moving about in the sewers, the 200-mile sewers, as indicated by Trinity. So these are demonic entities here. They're not humans, right? I mean, check out the lights, blah, blah, green. And the singing is that of satanic tune, like Marilyn Manson. Nah, this guy's gonna smoke you. There you go. Ah, he's gonna light you up. Poor Neo. And this place is controlled by blue on the screen, the monitor. So these are monitored and controlled by blue, right? Here, I don't know what that is, but I do believe this is, like I indicated earlier, some kind of a demonic language that only demons understand, right? That's what I'm thinking. But that's what this is here. This is underground, or maybe, you know, something of the sort. And that's what it is. Now, I don't know if that's accidental or perchance, or is it intended. Whenever Trinity is talking to Neo, they show you the blue screen.
What?
I just saw it on this.
Yeah, all I can say is
That's a demonic face.
that you're in danger. I brought you here to warn you.
Notice, whenever she's talking to him, blue appears.
They're watching you.
Who is?
Please just listen. And they're hearing.
As I mentioned earlier, when the Oracle was talking to Neo, and that the sperms are in the freezer, right, of the fridge, that you believe it's the year 1999?
In fact, it's closer to 2199.
So that's 200 years, I believe, right? So that's how long this Neo has been in that freezer as a sperm.
I can't tell you exactly what year it is because we honestly don't know.
Yeah.
There's nothing I can say.
Reason is he could be there for a year, for 2 years, for 10 years, all the way up to 200 years, right? When they extracted that sperm, it was up to 200 years ago. The original Neo, the originator of this Neo, who was decapitated by the red pill, right? So that's how long he was in the freezer. I did mention that, but I wanted to show it to you the opposite way, from a different angle or opposing angle. So here, you see Cypher is giving him that look, right? You may come to hate Cypher, but Cypher is the guy in this movie who tells you the truth. Could Cypher be Morpheus? I don't think so. The look here is as if he's telling you to be careful of this guy, as if Morpheus is suspicious of this guy. The way we know it is he's isolated. He's always doing the work in the kitchen or doing his own thing, but I believe he's the one who's being made to serve, right? Do the actual work. He's not one of the guys who enjoy the fruits of the others, right?
It's like the ones you don't know.
Tank is for a tank. A tank, a military tank. A piece of hardware that you use on the battlefield to kill each other. So he is a tank, such as a main battle tank or something of the sort, right? Like a M1, Challenger, Leopard 2, and so on and so forth. Dozer is bulldozer.
He's big though.
So it's not tank like a tank of water or something of the sort.
The little one behind you is Mouse. You wanted to know what the Matrix is in you? Trinity.
I'm going to repeat this here. We have only bits and pieces of information.
What?
That means education and knowledge. Like Morpheus and company from the East destroyed millions of books of science and so on, and killed so many people. And then what was a civilization now is only civilization at the face. All the knowledge that we know has been lost because Morpheus has and his minions have destroyed it.
We know.
Now, whenever he appears outside of the of Zion, of that edifice, the lodge and a temple and Nebuchadnezzar, the hovercraft and the hotel and room 303 and whatnot, right? He's always wearing the green tie. I will come to tell you what the green tie is in a little bit.
Sir, was that at some point in the early 21st century, all of mankind was united in celebration.
That's true. There was so much knowledge. I don't know what he means by 21st century, but if we added the 2199, as he said, subtracted that from it, then we come up to something like 800, 900 AD. That's where humanity had the most of knowledge and books and sciences and so on. Everything was invented back then, nothing before that, right? So he burned it, he scorched the sky, and that's what it is now. It's a desert of the real. Based on Baudrillard, he called it the fine detailed map that is a rotting carcass now. So he and Baudrillard destroyed it, and now it's a rotting carcass. Not because it was bad, but because it was good, and there's deep envy in the heart of Morpheus and Trinity and so on toward it. So their only solution to it, out of envy and covetousness, is to burn it and destroy it, scorch it.
Marveled at our own magnificence as we gave birth to Ea.
That would be, you may not believe it, that would be Muhammad, right? Who spawned whole entire race of scientists, of law enforcement agencies, of basically now we have the new world because that man spawned an entire race of what they term as AI, meaning non-human. But I personally believe it's the other way around. Well, no, not really.
Artificial intelligence. A singular consciousness
That was nearly 1450 years ago. Singular consciousness that spawned an entire race of machines. They're not machines, they're scientists, they're doctors, we basically have this new world, even though it's been heavily destroyed, but it's still functioning based on that, what happened 1450 years ago.
formed an entire race of machines.
That is Prophet Muhammad, who's in this movie illustrated as Cypher, or zero, or doing math.
We don't know who
Where he, when and where here, he called himself the messenger. He's only the messenger.
first, us or them. But we know that it was us that scorched the sky.
That's right. I don't see anybody else but Zion, right? The blue color, who scorched the sky and destroyed science and civilization.
At the time,
All right. I think I said this before, but I'm going to say it again, emphasize on it, just reiterate.
solar power. It was the
Solar power here means faith in God or in Allah.
belief that they would be unable to survive without an energy source as abundant as the sun. Throughout human history, we have been dependent on machines to survive.
Sounds about right to me. Morpheus here represents the Nebuchadnezzar or Zion as per tank, genuine child of Zion. But they always depended on others, whom they deem and consider as AI or machines to survive. Why? Because they are unable to produce on their own what the machines or what they term as machines to survive. I bet you money if they're pressed a little bit about it and have no choice but to invent and do things, they will find out that they can too.
Fate, it seems.
So the green is holding the neck and he's sitting in the red, right? Dealing with demonic figures, or possibly here means Europeans, right? But the green here, we in the Middle East have something about something that we say, he has him by the neck, right? If someone has someone else, right, in a cornered someone else, and if for example, if you see a struggle or competition or whatever it is, a fight in the ring or whatever, and one particular party begins to beat the other or appears to be the victorious one and on the way to become victorious, we say, we have a proverb that goes like this: he has him by the neck, right? He has him by the neck. What he's saying here, he's probably sitting in Europe, or in the red sometimes denotes demonic entities, right? But then his neck is controlled by the tie of Islam, that is green. I'll show you that in a little bit, where again it does appear to say so.
is not without a sense of irony. The human body generates more bioelectricity than 25,000 BTU.
So here, all those infants and children are being extracted from the fridge, not the freezer, but the lower part that you use on daily basis. And I noted to you that on the freezer, there's only one originator. That originated reds and that originated yellows, but not blues. On the lower part, there was three green, 3 yellow, and 3 reds, right? The greens I got a little bit confused about, because green again means Muslim, right? So Neo was one, and then it occurred to me, it's the 2 girls that were levitating cubes, right? That are sitting in front of the TV, giving birth to rabbits, remember? And all those sperms are like that. They're taken out, and metacortex is introduced into them, and they're fed dead people, right?
Combined with a form of
Here, you see there is a bugs, right? And inside the incubation pod, there are those babies, right? What does that mean here? I struggled with it a little bit, you see? They're all kind of bugs. What that means is, as their brains have been developed, they have been bugged. Bugged, you know, we use that in the computer as a computer term sometimes, or as a spying device. So my phone is bugged, my computer is bugged, my control is bugged. Like for example, this here is so bugged that infrared means nothing. I can press on the button from behind a steel wall, and I've tested it, and to the distance of few hundred feet, it'll still work. So much for the infrared. So that's what it means. These guys are being bugged. Bugged meaningly in their brains have been washed and introduced ideas, buggy ideas, and so on, right?
the form of fusion. The machines had found
Here he's saying something that's very important.
24 battery, 25,000 BTUs of body heat. Combined with the form of fusion.
So form of fusion, I don't know what he means by that. When he says combined with a form of fusion, I think it means some kind of a fraternity or club, or a something of the sort, right? Fraternity or club or masonry or a tribe or something of the sort. That's what fusion means here, right? So they're bugged, and their brains have been loaded with some nasty ideas, and they're put into some kind of a fraternity, and that is monitored at the same time.
The machines had found all the energy they would ever need.
They found all the energy they would ever need. Now we no longer need the sun energy, meaningly religion, meaningly faith, such as Islam, such as Christianity, such as anything else, right? Now, form of fusion, but you're satisfied you're being in a fusion. Well, an example would be those in the Nebuchadnezzar. They are very much isolated, few in one pod, not incubation pod, rather into a corral or something of the sort, or whatever it is. This bunch are related to each other by bugs, by birth, or by whatever it is, but they're cohesive and coherent in their act because Morpheus and Trinity gave them something called Freemasonry or whatever else it is, right? And they're bound by it, they live within it, and they're isolated in it, such as the Nebuchadnezzar. Did you see that's like grabbed by a by some kind of a monster's hand, right? See that monster's hand?
There are fields, endless fields.
That's what I know. I mean, I know that masonry is widespread. You'd find it from the dark, from the farthest places in Earth where whether it's Asia or Africa or Europe or the Americas or, you know, I know it's widespread. Is it the entire population of the Earth? No, actually, it's not even the majority. But they're there, you know, like in they're they're prevalent in the West and in the Middle East and so on. They're widespread, yes, and they're coherent and they get finances. They don't have to do anything. They just get financed by bankers, by stock markets, and so on.
Where human beings are no longer.
Now that looks here, that looks weird, man. I don't know what that is. Crawling or floating within the tube here. Huh.
Human beings are no longer born.
Okay, this one here reminds me of something that's called War of the World movie. H.G. Wells, I believe. And there were later movies, if you recall, they were like that, right? War of the World. And those machines from outer space, right? They're harvesting human and so on. So this looks familiar to me. Like those machines, like tripods and so on. And that's what I see here. So demons will always need humans to exist, and they operate on them and they possess them, right? Demons such as Morpheus, such as Tank, they just cannot survive on their own. So they exist because they harvest us, similar to us living on cattle, if you will, such as cows, sheep, you know, and in the West, if you eat pork and so on. That's basically what it is, or seafood or whatnot. So here, when he said they are dependent on machines, meaningly they just cannot exist without humans. That's us, or those people that they harvest and so on, or possess. Okay, relevant to the green tie and the significance of green tie, which ties your neck. Again, I'm going to show you here. That machine has him by the neck, right? Like I explained earlier about the proverb and the usage of that term in the Middle East, at least, you know, they have him by the neck. Here, I don't know the equivalent of it in the West, but in the Middle East, it goes like he has him by the neck, right? Or he's been tied by the neck, right? Or it could mean yoke, you know, or something of the sort. But in a competition or a fight or whatever it is, if one edges the other, we say he has him by the neck, right? Meaningly, he can press a little bit harder and the subject is dead, right? You choke him and he cannot inhale oxygen anymore, right? So let's play that. And as I mentioned to you, and it hurts, right? Oh, it so hurts here. That hurts, right? I mean, so he has him by the neck, yet he is hurting. It's hurting him. That entity, which has the syringe in the hand, it's hurting him, right? To hold you by the neck, this is not your friend. This is not your parent. This is not anyone. This is your controller, which may look like Tank, right? And as you can see, there's a scowl on the face and a helmet, and I can distinguish here a eyebrow and an eye. Maybe this is Tank. Maybe this is Tank, because Tank is his operator, right? Here the syringe, right? And then you see other things. I don't want to go into the details, right? So this is a syringe, and this looks like Tank to me, but he's angry here. I do believe this is the syringe that was carried by that floating face, face of horror, that terrible looking face with a scowl, red eyes, and like so on. And then it had a syringe in its hand, and I thought it was Tank because Tank is his operator, right? That is the syringe, I believe so. That's what I think. I think that machine that hovered and then removed the metacortex tube or interconnect from the back of the head of Neo, from the Neo's back of the head or neck. I think it's him. I mean, here it does look like him to me. So this is the machine. There it was scowling. Here he's smiling. He got himself a good pup now. Okay, one piece of information. Anderson means son of man, or denoting Jesus. Remember Chewie telling him, "You're my savior, my personal Jesus," right? Now, Jesus in some Middle Eastern occults, like the Alawites of Syria or Nuseris of Syria, that's where that's an occult, like 1,000 years occult that descended from the Hashashin or assassins, right? Who's currently the current butcher and donkey and his father are supposedly from, but they're really not from. They have a belief they believe that Jesus is really not son of God, rather he's a son of Satan. I'm not making this up. Go ask them, they will tell you.
Literally. We found him.
I hope you're right.
No, no, no. I know it.
I think they found him. Well, let's put it this way. I know they found him. But I'm going to tell Morpheus and Trinity, the husband and wife, parents of Tank and Dozer, or Tank and Bulldozer, Tank, that battle tank, right? They're in trouble, right? Now notice he's shaven and all that stuff and so on. He looks like some kind of a primordial entity, hairless, almost hairless. Okay, I talked about this falling from heaven, being seduced by 666 Morpheus, right? But I wanted to show you his face, the look on his face. Did you see that look on his face? Looks to me like the Twin Towers of September 11th. Okay, back to this again. I'm gonna make a comment or two here. As I mentioned, the green, which is Islamdom, is the originator of some yellow, but mainly red, or Europeans, or it could mean something else. Below are two, and these are the two girls, like I said, but I wanted to mention something here to you.
I'm sorry.
I said, don't worry about it. I'll get one of my kids to fix it.
How did you know?
Oh,
Notice, she lights up a cigarette when she talks about his noodle.
what's really going to bake your noodle later on is...
Aha, there goes the match. So you may think I'm reading too much or over predicting or speculating on what's going on here. No, folks, that's what it is. That's what I mentioned earlier in my previous videos. And she is burning his noodle here. Basically, all they want from this guy is everything that he has to offer, but mainly the sperm, which could turn into embryo, you know, if delivered. I mean, a female or male. So he's the originator. Now here, Cypher, or the messenger, right? Excuse me for a second. Yeah, Cypher or the messenger lights up a war. Now he begins his mission, right? 1450 years ago.
Yeah, I need an exit fast.
So here there's fire, right? So he just started turning things upside down. As you can see, there's a car here or a van down, and here, and there's Ford, right? So he's just started like his mischievous work according to them.
Yeah, there was an
And there's plenty of trash, huh?
accident. But
Where did he start this war? Is where there is trash. Trash means something here. Don't discount it.
damn car accident. All of a sudden, boom. Somebody up there still likes me.
Somebody up there, that means Allah or God, right? And again, now the blue marshals the green, which are the Chinese characters. That's mainly the Mongols. Rises up, you know, like calls up for war and battle and so on and so forth, right?
Get me out of here, fast.
Nearest exit is Franklin and Erie.
Franklin and Erie. That's Benjamin Franklin is Erie. I'm gonna repeat. Benjamin Franklin is Erie. So Franklin and Erie, that's Benjamin Franklin and Erie. Meaningly, he's sending them through Masonic channels now. They're being protected by maybe those guys, Chewie and company in the grotto or whatever, right? Demons. But that's what he's saying here, basically. And now I have a better interpretation for sewers, right? Remember when the Nebuchadnezzar landed in the sewers? When the sentinels were looking for it, or the police officers or law enforcement agencies, they hid in the sewer. Meaningly, they conduct their business in the slums, in the places where you least suspect, right? In the countries that are not really suspicious, and so on and so on and so forth, where you can hardly find anything, right? That's where things become loose and law of the jungle, and so law enforcement agencies have a problem looking there. So they hide in the sewers or what they consider the slums of the world. That's what I'm thinking. So I mentioned that this here Balboa Station is the battle in Spain, probably France and Italy and the Mediterranean north or west of the Mediterranean where the Muslims were, right? So here they're attacking them, or they got some agents to attack them. Morpheus couldn't do that by himself, so he sent the agents, right? So I got a couple of points to make. So when the train arrives, right? Now as you see Sol, right? Sol means sun in Spanish, or I think French, or in French I think it's Soleil. And you see the yellow above him, right? So he's getting help from Mongols in China. The arrival of the train means arrival of fresh troop, you know, into battle, fresh troops into battle. So there's a backup here arriving because the agents didn't think this was going to be a fight for his, you know, his own existence.
You hear that, Mr. Anderson? That is the sound of inevitability. It's the sound of your death. Goodbye, Mr. Anderson. My name is Leo.
So that's the arrival of new armies from, say, probably North Europe or something of the sort. So they're arriving on battle because the agent is having problem, and then he gets killed, right? So the agent gets killed now. But the number 3 supplies a new agent, provides or sends into battle a fresh agent. He thought he killed him. But Morpheus can always manage to send new agents into battle. He's number 3. You got it?
What happened?
No, I lost it.
Proximity warning meaningly now throughout the fight, people, law enforcement agencies, kings, queens, presidents, people, societies, scientists, blah, 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 blah. They are already noticing that Zion is now involved in some business, right? You know, like military coups, monkey business, you know, and so on and so forth. So they're beginning to appear and they're being looked at and they're becoming conspicuous, right? People can now observe their existence. They're no longer hidden in plain sight. So now they're being looked at, and then proximity means coming close to them to inspect the situation. So they are now becoming uncovered, losing cover, and becoming conspicuous and obvious. And that's the situation, normal situation. If you're doing some social work or racketeer or mafia or mafiatic work or monkey business, right? Eventually people are going to find out. People are not dumb or deaf or blind. They can observe and they can notice. So that's what this is here. The fight is taken too long, and it's well known. It's well known who's doing the fight, who's behind engineering and sitting behind the curtains, pulling strings and engineering fights and wars and famine and so on. So now they're being discovered, and the alarm has been sounded. That's people, law enforcement agencies, kings, queens, blah blah. This is similar to Europe. Say, for example, when Philip the Fair of France or England, you know, they both were cousins, and they prosecuted the Templars, the Knights of the Temple. I'm not saying that's what it is, but this is something similar. Now Zion is being discovered here.
5, maybe 6 minutes.
5 or 6, I don't know. These are magic numbers. 5 or 6 minutes. I've seen them all along, but I don't know what they mean. 5 and 6, I even seen them on certain church in Germany. You know, the 5-pointed star, which denotes Satan, and then the 6, which denotes God or something, good and evil or something of the sort.
Tank, charge the EMP.
So here,
He's out.
I know.
okay, she said we can't use that until he's out, meaningly he's dead, right, completely, and they have taken his sperm out of him, the new sperm that she's going to be pregnant with.
He's gonna make it.
Shit! That's my phone! Mr. Wizard! Get the hell out of here!
Got a fence and an old exit. Wabash and Lake.
Wabash and Lake. So we're talking water here, right? Wabash, as I explained, is a Native American term in the South. That means water flowing over white stone. And lake, of course. So I showed you this before. I'm going to show it to you again, right? This guy has these guys have like demonic faces or something. But you will notice something else. Here, I showed you in an earlier video that the Chinese girl that was holding Agent Smith's hand, there she is again, she's coming to the rescue. That means she's coming to his aid and support in fighting Neo. So is this guy, right? All that here with the onions, you know, I explained the onions concept, right? And then 66 or 99, all these, and this is a rabbi, all these are coming to aid against Neo. Meaningly, Morpheus now has the whole world against Neo. And now the fight is going on to kill him. right? You saw that little girl. I'm going to show it to you again. As you can see, that's the same girl I showed you. That's coming here. And now they're holding hand. Ah, and you thought China was neutral, huh? Dang dang wang bang zu dang wang. Alright. But there's one more thing. He has nowhere to run, right? Nowhere to run, to hide. Mr. Anderson. So, I think I probably explained this, but fire hose here means I think they're going to pour out fire on him from all sides, right? Above and below and so on. Now the whole world, Morpheus and Trinity in Zion and Tank and Dozer or Bulldozer, managed to get the whole world against him while they're watching. But they're being discovered little by little, right? So they cannot leave until he's out, right? They cannot leave until he's out, meaning he's dead.
Oh no.
Now they're really being discovered. But they will be able to do something else, as I will show you. Now look at Morpheus. He's looking up at God.
Here they come.
Here they come. These are the angels, right? Or the law enforcement agencies and so on. Again, that's the same hotel, hourly rates, huh? That's where they take your children from you and you don't know anything about it, right? Here, I don't know, like I mentioned, I saw these signs here somewhere, like with certain movements or certain occults or something of the sort, but you know better than I do. All right, so here, I told you this was Germany, right? The Mercedes here is burned. Now there is another option or possibility that this Neo is really, like I said, it's a template between here and there. So this Neo may not be meant to be the same Neo as was in the previous scene and previous scene and previous scene. So we were talking back in Balboa Station, we were talking Muslims, right? Here, I think this is a Mercedes. And as you can see, it looks like Germany here to me, German stuff, right? So here, this is Germany, and this guy is neo-Nazi. Remember neo-Nazi? So the neo-Nazis now have been used to destroy Europe along with communism, right? The vice that basically crushed Europe. And now they're going to get rid of Hitler. So this here, neo-Nazi, maybe Hitler. Neo-Nebuchadnezzar, neo-Nazi, burned Mercedes. Maybe that's what it is. I can't read this. If you can read it, maybe it'll give you better clues. The fire escape at the end of the alley, room 303. That's where Trinity is. Fire escape. They're sending him to fire. Alright, I told you when I was looking at the passport that September 71 means something, right? That's what I'm thinking. So I counted the bullets here, right? 1 space. One, that's 11. 1, 1. That's 7. 11, 7. And 1. So 11, 7, 1. Where did I see that? Let me show you. So he fired at him 11, 7, 1. 11, 1, space 1. 7 bullets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Space 1. The last one. So that's 11, 7, 1. Let me show you something. So now I'm going to try to put myself in this movie. I'm trying. I am trying. But I can't. I guess I am not. So 994 in 1171. November, right? 1971. I was 9 years and 4 months old. Was probably few days, right? So I'm trying like to, whichever way I can, every other way I can, that I can, but I can't. All right, let me show you the number of bullets.
As you can see, we've had our eye on you for some time now, Mr. Anderson. It seems that you've been living 2 lives. In one life, you're Thomas A. Anderson, program writer for a respectable software company. You have a social security number, you pay your taxes, and you...
When he pays his taxes and programmer, he looks at the papers that reflects in his glasses. And the hacker. When he talks about the hacker, he shows those evil eyes, right?
The other...
Alright. Remember I told you to keep that 1171 in mind? There it is, right? September 71. 11 September 71. Get it? That's the number of bullets. 1. Silence. 1. Silence. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Silence. 1. 1171.
What happened?
No, I lost it.
So he says, she says, what happened? He says, I don't know, I lost him. So they're monitoring him. I thought they only know where you are if you call using that landline. Landline is the network of masonry among human. Anything cell phone, that's very exclusive for Zion.
How long?
5, maybe 6 minutes. Tank, charge the EMP.
You can't use that until he's out.
I know, Trinity, don't worry.
By the way, I think you can count bullets just like I counted bullets 1171. Any other shooting scenes, you can count bullets and maybe related to some scene or something in history or something in the movie itself. But I don't want to go that fine. I don't want to go like diving into like the deep confines of this movie. But I assure you, there's plenty on it of things in here that are concealed and surreptitiously put in there in the flow of the movie that I really didn't notice.
He's gonna make it.
That's my phone!
This is like reverse engineering the script here. I don't have time to do that, right?
It's a wizard! Get me the hell out of here!
Got a detached on an odd exit, Wabash and Lake. Oh, shit.
Notice something here. This woman, the way she's gesturing here, the Chinese woman. Is that like she's scared or something? I don't know. Wow. So the album is out now. I don't know what that means. Is that he's out? That he's out now, right? Bangara or whatever it is, but the album is out. That's him. Because he's an album, right? He's a symphony. Okay, I'm gonna go through this scene and then we're going to stop this video. Alright, so the sperms. Can't be his deception. The Agent Smith who shot him is not the same Agent Smith as who was chasing him. They couldn't have beaten him because they were chasing him, right? He was ahead of them.
He's gone.
So Morpheus is able to project agents at will. Agent Smith, more than one. She was gonna fall in love with a dead man, right? He's dead, but the kiss will denote that she took his sperm already. The new Neo. The one that died just got shot by Agent Smith. He's dead. He's out per her request that they cannot start the EMF until he's out, meaning he's dead. Yeah, they have his sperm. That's basically here they're telling you she has his new baby, right? So the guy, the sucker is dead. Sucker. Neo's dead. See? He's born again. Okay, so the new Neo now is going to fight. Now Morpheus is looking like a weasel, the way he's shifting his eyes right and left. Notice. He's looking like a dog. He's a weasel. Not as brave as you think he is. So, the new Neo is supernatural, right? That's what Zion is hoping for. He's going to be supernatural. He's going to overcome everything that's human. And I believe they mean by him as a descendant of King David. Here, I counted at one point, I counted 12 bullets or 13 bullets. Remember, I explained to you that 12 is 12 tribes of Israel, right? And the one bullet, I don't know what that is, but it shows on the dollar. The star, 6-pointed star with the dot in the middle. And that's precisely what's on the cortex as well. If you look at the cortex, it is 12 and a dot in the middle. Metacortex, that's the connector on the back of the skull. I think that's what I counted. I counted 12 bullets, silver bullets. Notice they all have the same thing. They show one eye and dark eye, one eye and dark eye, one eye and dark eye, right? Now let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 12. Again, now the screen is blue with characters, Chinese characters.
He's the one.
Sucker! Look, now the black eye shows up here, that spirit within. And now you can see beyond matter. And he's surrounded by all kind of soldiers, mainly Chinese. Motherfucker, the dogs, See? Same thing here. Now he's got fast reflexes, that of an angel, super angel. Or God in the flesh. Or according to the Alawites of Syria and Palestine and Lebanon, like the son of Satan or something. Let's see. Who is he? He is. I want you to see something here. He is going very slow. But then you see either the shadow of his hand or the sun. No, maybe that's his arm, right? He's very fast. But I see the sun, maybe. The sun disk here. I don't know. Talking about the sun earlier, that they supposedly think it's God. No, that's a good flight there. Free of charge. Now they destroy the Chinese after they used them. Right? They used them to destroy the original Neo. Now they use the new Neo to destroy them. There you go. I'm going to step on you, my dog. So he's a supernatural entity that is not normal. How he did what he did until now, but notice what he does again. Did you see that? Now this guy's glasses are all black. They are switching, similar to Morpheus switching, right? When he left the hotel. Do you remember I showed you that? So notice now they're turning all black. They're moving back into the world of spirit or angels. You may say it's a shadow or lighting effects. I doubt it. These are the Germanics, right? This guy Neo is, like I said, is probably Hitler because they burned Mercedes and so on, right? So they mean that by him to be Hitler. Notice, he's bending walls. So this is like now we're talking quantum and EMC 12 or whatever it is, right? And so on and so forth. You see, he's bending time. Now he's no longer subject to time and so on. As was explained by that Egyptian Morpheus I showed you, the one that looks Muslim. Uh-oh. Run, motherfucker. So now they're waiting on the new one to be born or acquired. And they're really discovered. Now, who's left? All right. Whoever is left is very simple. Morpheus and his wife Trinity and their son Tank. Yeah, Zion, original, genuine child of Zion. They lost one on the way, right? So it's not all too clean. And he was bulldozer, so maybe he got lost because he was not well equipped to handle situations, right? And then you see Neo, which is her son now, right? Everybody else in that Nebuchadnezzar, which are original Zion, right? They're all dead. Epoch, Switch, Cypher, Bulldozer, Mouse, 5 of them died. And these were not part of this family. Dozer and Tank and Morpheus and Trinity. That is the original Zion family. And now they have the sperm. They have the seed. So now what they've done here is when they're discovered, they exploded a nuclear war or world war. World war or a nuclear war. Could be world war. Like World War I and II, right? And they immediately dove down. They no longer want to be seen because they're discovered, so they're hiding. After World War II, or they mean a nuclear weapon, right? Here's what you need to look at. If you remember, there's something about Zionist evangelists, right, in the United States, and there's certain Zion elements who believe they must speed up the end of the world or the Holocaust or Armageddon with nuclear Holocaust. And this is on the record. I'm not making this up. Listen to them here in the United States, the Christian Coalition and so on. They believe that they need to speed up the nuclear Holocaust because only then Jesus will come, or Son of Man. So this also epitomizes or embodies, or at least implies, that's what they're thinking. Now they started the nuclear war, they took the one, and they escaped. And as you saw, escaped where? Right? Isn't that the metacortex? And then it's got 12, right? 12 tribes. All those on the Nebuchadnezzar who were not original or genuine child of Zion got killed, right? And now they have the new Neo. And the new Neo, that after Neo got killed with 1171, that's supposedly the seed of God or something of the sort. Okay, we're gonna stop here.